Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, my bro, you wanna know why most men never level up in life? Most men never level up in life is because they're too damn scared to fucking crash. And I mean that shit. I've been there. But guess what? Yo, the other night I was training stoppies. I was training with my brother Stifler, my brother from another mother. We went to the lot, we measured some shit out, and we're like, yo, we're gonna roll this whole fucking shit. And I was training on my 600. I brought the ZX6R back. And bro, let me say, we were rolling. We were fucking rolling. We were making this shit happen. And yo, if you know stoppies, bro, if you know what it takes to make that shit happen, then you would actually relate that rolling stoppies on a 600cc bike takes way more aggression than rolling stoppies on a 1000cc motorcycle. Because it has almost less than half the power. Way less power. You gotta really attack this shit if you want a distance. You gotta really go after it. Like, it doesn't come from, you don't get the same distance from doing the same effort on riding the 600 versus the 1000 because you don't carry the same power through the fucking roll. And man, we were fucking getting after it. Like I rolled that whole lot, no problem on the 1000, but in the 600, like it was a challenge and we were fucking rolling. Like we were taking this shit almost all the way to the fucking end. Like straight up. And I saw the end right there and bro, I got fucking greedy, dude. I really did. I wanted to reach that curb, which was right there. And the crazy part about it is I had momentum, I had the height. If I would have just stayed with it instead of grabbing more front brake, trying to fucking make sure I hit that shit. Oh man, I wouldn't have gone over. I grabbed too much fucking front brake while I was already floating really fucking high. I was already going, I wasn't really going that fast anymore. I was almost to the end of the stoppie. And then next thing you know it, bam, I hit too much front brake. I'm like, oh, that's it, pass up one and no return, over the bars. Bike crashing on top of me. The front mask got destroyed. The headlight fucking gone, bro. And honestly, I ain't even mad, bro. I ain't even mad. Because that's what happens when you're pushing the limits. And you know why? Even more so, I'm not even fucking mad. Because, yo, this happened on like the warm-up sessions. Like, we were rolling earlier that night. We hadn't measured it out. We were already getting all the way to the end, getting all the way to the end. And we're like, yo, I brought the measuring stick. I brought the cones. Let's set this shit up. Let's fucking give us a very limited approach. 300 feet. Know we can get this. So we set it up and then we started talking. One thing led to another and we were just eating shit. And then it was like 11:30. I'm like, yo, we're going to actually roll this or what? And we're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. And yo, literally on the warm-ups, bro. Fucking 2 or 3 stoppies in. Ready was rolling the whole stop. The whole lot. And it was like 2 or 3 stoppies and it was literally on the warm-up runs that I flipped this shit. And that is what is so gangster to me. Like we weren't even like towards the end of the day pushing to get the most that I can. Yo, we were just warming up and we were fucking rolling. And that's what happens when you have someone next to you who's pushing the limits just as much as you are. Because I've been there by myself and I've been pushing there by myself, and it's way different when you have someone else there that is rolling with you, same distance, pushing the same. The energy is just fucking different. It really is. And that made me realize that, yo, you don't find your limits by playing it safe. And actually, let's just say I didn't make me realize this, it just brought it back to life because I've known this. You see, most men never truly discover what they're capable of because they're never really pushed hard enough to find the edge. And I'm constantly pushing myself harder and more than I think I can. That night was with my stoppies. Bro, but I've done this shit with my physique. I've done this shit with bro, almost everything in my life. That's kind of how I got the whole name Wide Open Randy. That's because I do everything at 150 fucking percent. I'm always looking for the edge. I'm always looking for the limit. And so, men that stay in their comfort zone, bro, they don't achieve above average life. That's just what I've learned. Like, they'll keep the safe workouts, they'll keep the safe career, they'll keep the safe conversations, they'll keep the safe dreams, they'll keep the safe money, they're having the safe life, bro. And then they wonder why life feels fucking dull. My brother, excitement lives on the edge. If you want a better life, then you gotta be willing to push that fucking edge. Growth lives on the edge. Like, aliveness is the edge. That's that point of like when you're about to go over, but you really don't, and you're riding that edge, you feel fucking alive. And so whether it's stoppies, whether it's physique, whether it's relationship, whether it's career, dog, push things to the fucking limit. Because you don't learn balance point by doing little tiny stoppies forever, or endos, or nose wheelies, however the fuck you want to call them. At some point, you gotta let that fucking nuts hang. You gotta let the bike hang. You gotta let your fucking fear hang. You gotta really willing to risk it all. And the same thing goes with life. If you don't become more confident by playing small forever. You don't build a business without taking any risks. You don't transform your body without having gone through a lot of discomfort. You don't become stronger, a better husband without having hard conversations. My brother, at some point, you gotta commit. At some point, you gotta let them hang. And at some point, you gotta be willing to risk it all in order to go and achieve more. You see, the edge teaches you things that comfort never will. And so when failure hits, you process it different because you love the process. Like, I've had before, this is not the first stoppie I flipped, bro. And I gotta tell you, when I flipped stoppies before, I was like, failure, fuck, shit, injuries, all this stuff. And now I was like, yo, I did suffer a couple of injuries, nothing major. Knees bruised the fuck up. My palms are super sore and purple, and my shoulder was like been sore as fuck. I haven't really been doing weights or anything. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to do weights again. But when I fell and I got up, all I could think about was like, yo, we were fucking rolling. And so the failure, it hits different when you love the process. You see, most people fear failure because they're emotionally attached to perfection. And dog, warriors, they realize that perfection is no such thing. We fall in love with the progression, not the perfection. The perfection is really never achievable. But when you focus on the love for progression, you just get better every time. And so that's why the crash didn't kill my spirit. It actually fueled my spirit. Yo, I want to go roll farther and longer now than I've ever had before. And I'm going to go do it on a naked bike. I'm going to go prove that I can do it. And I'm going to go fucking double it out on the 1000. Because I know that if I train hard as fuck on the 600 and I control height and I'm getting consistent and I'm getting farther and longer than I ever have with the shortest approach possible, and I transfer that to a fucking way more powerful bike, dog, I'm just gonna fucking roll nasty. I really am. And so the goal isn't avoiding mistakes. The goal is becoming more skilled. And so, bro, like, look, let me give you some examples, though. Like, look, a weak mindset, a dude that has a weak mindset, he's gonna say, damn, I fucking crashed. Maybe I shouldn't do this shit anymore. A man with a growth mindset says, bro, we were fucking rolling. Let's run this shit back. The energy changes everything, bro. It really does, because now failure becomes feedback, and not you don't identify that crash with, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. You identify that crash with, yo, I was fucking rolling. I was pushing the limits. I was fucking pretty much rolled the whole damn thing. And that reframe, total fucking game changer. And the same thing applies to your life. Like, when you have business setbacks, reframe that bitch. When you have marriage struggles, reframe that bitch. When you face plateaus in your fitness, reframe that shit. When you take financial losses, reframe that shit, because there are gonna be a lot of them, especially if you're trying to achieve big things. When you go through spiritual battles, reframe that shit. See, you can either let the setback define you, or you can let it develop you into the next version who will go back stronger and harder. Who will go and be willing to tighten up those loose ends and then go run it back even fucking harder. That right there is warrior mindset. If you're emotionally addicted to comfort, failure destroys you, dog. It really will. But if you're addicted to growth, then that failure is only going to sharpen you. That failure is only going to fuel you. That failure, you're looking at it as like, yo, I was fucking rolling. I was pushing the limits. And then you just look at things way different. And so your environment either levels you up or it softens you up. Like, that's the truth of the matter is. Because if you're riding with motherfuckers who are gangster, who are fucking pushing the limits, who will tell you, yo, run that shit right back. Like, yo, I looped the stoppie, right? My brother from another came to go check. My girl was there, his wife was there, everyone came. A good friend Chris also was there. They all came to check up on me, and I was like, fuck, the bike had fell on top of me. I got up, shook it off. It kind of brought my bike over to where the trucks were parked. And then my brother Stifler went back, and he's like, yo, I ain't ending the night like that. He went back and ran it back. He fucking went and rolled the whole shit again. And I was like, that's what's up right there. It makes the fucking difference. So your environment is either going to level you up or it's going to soften you down. If you would have just ended the night right there, instead he would have gone home, played the fucking crash in his head, who knows what would have happened, and it was going to soften his mojo. Instead, he went back, despite me just crashing, despite me pushing the limits, fucking ran that shit back and fucking nailed it. You see, training with other driven men changes your performance fast as fuck. Fast as fuck. We were literally on the warm-up sessions and rolling the whole thing. On the 600s. That energy transfers from one another. That identity shift happens, bro. And that standards that one another uphold, they transfer to each other. That's why training with my brother from another Stifler matters to me. It really does. Because we're both pushing each other to do more, to achieve more, to roll more, and we're out to fucking take heads. And so I know that training with him now, and having this little slip up that I had, being a little greedy, I know this just is the beginning. Because we were just on the warm up and we had already rolled the whole fucking lot. Like, dog, I can't wait to go back and achieve more. I really can't. It's like think about it like this. Like, have you ever noticed how much harder you ride when another killer rides beside you? This is literally what I'm just talking about. Like, you naturally elevate. And maybe for you it's not riding. Maybe for you it's racing with another better driver, someone who's faster than you. Maybe it's fucking running with someone who's faster than you. Hey, when you hang around other dudes that ride at the same or higher level that you do, or drive at the same or higher level than you do, or do run at the higher level that you do, dog, you level up because of them, because of the environment that you're on. That's why weak environments are dangerous. Because if everyone around you is lazy, if everyone around you is negative, if everyone around you is soft, if everyone around you is scared, if everyone around you is addicted to comfort, then eventually that energy bleeds into you, my brother. But when everyone around you, who you surround yourself with, if they all train hard, if they all push their limits, if they all chase growth, if they all speak life, if they're all about positivity, if they hold fucking their standards, if they attack their fear, if they fucking refuse to quit, then you start leveling up faster naturally because you're around it. That's why brotherhood matters. That's why iron sharpens iron. Straight up, your circle either feeds your excuses or your circle feeds your evolution. Which one is going to be? And so my question here, dog, as we wrap up this episode, is where in your life are you playing too safe because you're scared of crashing? Like, imagine if this was on the warm-up runs, bro. Imagine if I would have been, I handed it easy because I was scared of crashing and I would have never pushed that. I would have never clicked. Then on a normal warm-up run, I could straight up roll past the 500 mark on the warm-up. So where in your life are you playing too safe because you're scared of crashing, my brother? And my challenge for you is this week, I want you to just push on one area of your life closer to the edge. Maybe that means, attacking this next workout harder for you. Maybe that means having that hard conversation that you've been meaning to have. Maybe that means for you posting that content that makes you cringe. Maybe it means starting that business that you finally have been wanting to do for a long time. Maybe it's taking the risk. Maybe it's finally betting on yourself. Whatever it is, brother, stop coasting and let them fucking hang. Yeah, I flipped a stoppie. Yeah, the bike got wrecked. But brother, I would rather crash chasing growth than slowly die living scared, living like a pussy. Because men who live wide open understand something that most people never will. The goal isn't avoiding the damage. The goal is becoming more alive because of it. Let's get it. I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, claiming victory for every single wide open warrior that's out there. My brother, this is your wake-up call. Break the chains, step out of the average, and become that badass motherfucker that you were born to be. This Live Wide Open movement isn't just a podcast. This is a mission that God has stamped in my heart and helping you rise as the purpose I live for. So lock this shit in and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And you have today's message and lit that fire in your chest, then don't you dare keep that shit to yourself. Fuel another brother. Send this to another motorhead. Send this to another gearhead. Send this to another warrior who's hungry for more. Because the truth of the matter is that building a better life for your family is not fucking negotiable. You got people who are depending on you. You've got a legacy to create. And those excuses that keep popping up in your mind, my brother, they're never going to feed the fucking table. That's why it's time to get up. It's time to lock in. And it's time to get to fucking work, dog. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your movement. And Wide Open is the fucking way. Let's go.